I said this hat doesn't come off until Larson wins. Not today. So we had 3 races this weekend. Got trucks, got nationwide, got the Sprint Cup. Trucks, I saw about the first... I missed the last 30 or so laps, but saw the first, like, maybe 50 or so, tuned it out, and then went to work. I tuned it out because I knew what was going to happen. Because that 00 truck was leading the whole damn time. Like, I would hear in the background while I was doing whatever, like, he's led every single lap, he's led every single lap. And I was thinking, well, there you go, there's your winner of the frickin' race. But, I was surprised to see that there was no Sprint Cup drivers in that truck race, even though it was at New Hampshire. So that was good. Good on them. Not that it made much of a difference. The trucks that usually dominate still dominated anyway, so whatever. So that was a meh race. Couldn't care less. Then, nationwide race was last night. Truck race was yesterday morning. Nationwide race last night. That was in Kentucky, and I was thinking that was going to be the race to watch. Because, you know, it's out of the completely different state, so there was no chance that there was going to be a Sprint Cup driver in that race. Which was good. Yay. And, you know, yeah, and Michael McDowell in the 22, Sam Hornish Jr. in the 54. Frickin' finally, something good is gonna happen to those 2 drivers. And, of course, it didn't, because that would be too much to ask for. McDowell was just like Larson today. He was up there at the front in the late restarts. Then, on the last one, dropped off altogether, all the way into frickin' oblivion. Except Larson came back and got second. But McDowell went off to New York City back there. And Hornish, of course, got in a wreck because he's the only goddamn driver of the 54 that ever have frickin' problems. And he's the only driver of the 54 that I actually frickin' care about. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. What a wonderful... This is turning out so wonderfully so far. One car dominating the entire race. A whole bunch of late restarts that inevitably end up ruining a couple of my favorite drivers' days. The Truck Series race and the Nationwide Series race combined made the Sprint Cup race. Unfortunately. So I missed the first 140 or so laps. Because all I ever fucking do is work. So I missed the only part of the race that was not littered with cautions. Like, I saw such little green flag racing that I can't even make a judgment as to whether or not that was an actually interesting, aggressive, competitive race. That's just how little green flag racing that I actually saw today. Kevin Harvick dominated early like he always does. Because that's all Kevin Harvick ever does is lead laps and lead laps. Hamlin led some laps early, and I was like, good. My pick for the championship is having a good day. And then stupidity ensued. His fucking gas tank was being a douche. When does that happen? The last time we have problems with gas in anything that I've seen, in recent memory anyway, was back when they still had a catch can guy on pit road. So that's great. Then Truex spun, which collected Hamlin. And that ended Hamlin's frickin' day. Even though he was 4 laps down when he got the gas tank fixed, he probably could have taken waiver rounds. I don't know why anyone wasn't taking waiver rounds. with all those cautions. I don't see why they shouldn't have. I mean, there were freaking cautions upon cautions. They should have seen most of that coming. Like, once it got to like 5 cautions there, I was expecting 5 more and got like 7 more. So it was just like that race at Kansas. It must have been last year, where right when it got repaved, wasn't it Kansas? I think it was Kansas, where there were like 7 straight cautions there. Yeah, that's what that reminded me of. Anyway, so let's see who all had tires go down. Kurt Busch, Stenhouse, did too. Jeff Gordon did. Matt Kenseth hit the wall. Stenhouse doesn't count because he's not a frickin' whatchamacallit. But yeah, that was interesting. You know, just cautions upon cautions upon cautions. So I like seeing caution heavy races where drivers that, you know, took to pit road early, or like in the middle of a cycle, so that drivers that aren't normally at the front are at the front and you can see if they have anything. And a lot of times they do. We saw that with Brian Vickers. Casey Mears held the top 10 for like 30 laps or so there. Yeah, a couple of cautions to help him out, but you know, just saying. My choices to drop out of the championship were Allmendinger, Almirola, and the Busch brothers. I think I was a little bit hasty with picking both of the Busch brothers to drop out, but right now, Almirola and Kurt Busch are outside of the thingamajig, and Allmendinger's only up by about 8 points. And, you know, while I said that Allmendinger does do decent at Dover, I'm a poet. That's alliteration right there. Dinger does good at Dover, so but he usually ends up wrecking anyway, so that's what I expected with that character right there. And so long as Kyle Busch wrecks and Denny Hamlin doesn't and Greg Biffle doesn't, then hopefully, you know, my prophecy is fulfilled. I don't know why no one came in to get tires over all those cautions. I mean, they should have known that there would be a lot more coming. Like when that 5th caution rolled around, I would have gone into the pits probably. 5th or 6th, maybe even all the way down to 8th. Because when it got down to the last 10 laps, and after Jeff Gordon hit the wall, before the Tony Stewart caution, I was like, there's going to be another caution. There is no way there's not going to be. And lo and behold, there goes smoke in a plume of smoke. So yeah, that's fantastic. Good day for Tony Stewart getting wrecked. That's magnificent. I'm sorry that this exists. I hate it. I wish it would die a fiery hell fire of fire. Yeah. I really wanted to take this hat off today. It's been on for weeks. But anyway. Fuck's sake. Like, I was entertained by it anyway. It was a good race. Like I said, I can't make a judgment as to whether or not it was actually competitive, because I didn't see any green flag runs. But a fucking course. It always ends this way. Man. I just fucking despise Joey Logano. Sam Hornish Jr. should be in that 22. He shouldn't be fighting for a ride at the Sprint Cup level. He shouldn't be fighting for a ride at the nationwide level. Boom. Color. But anyway. So the truck race was meh. Nationwide race was decent. I can't really make a judgment on the Sprint Cup race, but the ending sucked. And that's the extent of this NASCAR review. So see you in Dover, when hopefully I can take this fucking hat off. Get it off of me! Get it off of me!